But the way the wind was hurling restless flurries against the windshield as the trees swayed vengefully overhead was enough to put even the most assured traveler on edge. Julien Doran had never felt less sure of anything in his life, and he'd hit that edge at a running jump about 2 weeks and 2,000 miles ago, right around the time he'd turned his back on everything. The shambled remains of his family, career, and common sense, at the suggestion of a dead man. He might still get lucky. He might never make it to the elusive Maudit Falls, and instead spend the rest of eternity driving up and down these mountain roads until, eventually, he'd become just another one of the dozens of urban legends the area seemed to collect like burrs. They could call him Old Doran, the fallen star. 44 years of carefully towing the line distilled down to this one inarguably absurd decision, and told at bedtime to frighten children into obedience. Don't you know better than to throw your life away on a lie, little one? Do you want to end up like Old Doran? A man who turned down the first role he'd been offered in 4 years to instead take a secret flight across the country? A man who thought he could open a wound so recently closed it still wept at the edges? A man who went looking for a monster. Listen, they'd say. If you listen really closely, you can still hear his voice echoing through the mountains, calling out, "What am I doing here? What did I think I could change? Did I miss my turn?" Julien glanced at the GPS on his phone, but it was still caught in an endless limbo of loading, the service having cut out about 15 minutes ago. "The town proper is on the other side of the mountain," the clerk at the last rest stop had told him. A woman with metallic rose eyeshadow, a name tag that said Chloe, and the unmoving smile of someone sick of delivering the same canned dialogue to every wide-eyed monster-hunting tourist who passed through. "You'll see plenty of signs for Bluetail Lodge as long as you stay on the main road. But whatever you do, don't get out of your car after dark. That's when Sweet Pea is his most dangerous." Chloe had gestured with rote unenthusiasm to the huge display by the counter, a rack covered in souvenirs, and a 6-foot-tall cardboard cutout of an ominous, pitch-black figure with glowing green eyes. It had hooves for feet, long, delicate claws instead of hands, and the flat face of a primate, obscured by shadow. The figure was standing up on 2 legs, but sorta stooped over, arms held awkwardly as if caught midway through dancing the monster mash. "Mr. P, I presume," Julien had said, reaching out to touch one long cardboard claw. Then he pretended to shake its hand and added in a deep, formal voice, "Mr. P is my father. Please call me Sweet." Chloe's smile hadn't flickered, which was very fair. Rocky would have known what to say. He would have known the right questions to ask, the right words to use, the best attitude to strike to get Chloe on his side, talking and spilling secrets that couldn't be sold on a souvenir rack. "Have you ever seen it?" "Me? No." Chloe shook her head. "But my sister's ex was out hunting and swears it passed right through the campsite, tore into his cooler and stole all his coyote traps." "Wow, that's, the way it always was. No, I've never seen anything, but my dentist's kid's teacher's nephew woke up in the woods with less beer than he'd remembered packing and a missing ham sandwich. Alert the media, they walk among us." "That's something." "Are you in Maudit for, "The skiing," Julien cut her off quickly, and launched into his own canned dialogue, taking the opposite approach to Chloe, his voice a little too bright, smile too mobile, overselling his story. "I would never have thought of North Carolina for it, but a friend recommended the slopes here. He said it's snow without having to freeze your, nose off." "We get our fair share, and plenty more than that up the mountain," she said, watching him